What is going on, everybody? It's Dorsey Made Gaming, and welcome to another podcast. Now, y'all, normally we would talk about Madden and things that we want to improve on and things of that nature. I want to take a step in a different direction here. And for the younger viewers of the channel, those who are in high school preparing to go to college, I would like to take today's episode to kind of talk to you about what is it like being a student athlete in college and the transition from middle school to high school and from high school to college. Um, I'll start because there's also some subscribers to the YouTube channel in the community, the DM gaming community, that are in middle school as well. Okay, so we'll start off with middle school. Middle school, you're finding your bearings. If you're not, you know, you're gonna see a lot of change in yourself and the people around you. You may not be fast right now, for instance, but hey, you may gain with your growth spurt some speed, strength, size, and if you're fast now, hey, you might that might be your peak. You know, there's a lot to learn from middle school sports, in that really you kind of get a feel for what you want to play at the next level, which for you would be high school, be it freshman ball, junior varsity, or varsity. When I was in high school, we actually had enough to have a freshman team. Actually, our freshman team was better than our junior varsity team, and and we had varsity. But the biggest transition from middle school to high school, they tell you, is the speed of the game. Now, what people mean by the speed of the game, it's not talking about like the speed of the players per se. When people talk about, you'll hear this term a lot. The speed of the game is different. What they mean by that is the overall compass of the game itself. From the players are faster, yes. The players are stronger, the players are smarter, the plays are more in depth. And so there's more to do within a small amount of time between the spot of the ball and the snap of the ball. You see what I'm saying? That's where the speed of the game comes in, because in that small amount of time, you have to make more reads, checks, and audibles than you did at the middle school level. And that's the same thing for you guys in high school preparing to go to college. That's what people mean when they say the speed of the game is different. The playbook grows exponentially from each level, from middle school, high school to college, and the NFL's playbooks are insane. So you're going to hear that term a lot, the speed of the game. That's what it's referring to. Yes, the players are faster, but they're not always faster, especially when you go from high school to college. Um, for instance, guys that run 4.3s, 4.4s in high school tend to run those same times in college and in the pros even. So the speed of the game is not so much what they mean. Like, the speed of the players is not necessarily what they mean by the speed of the game. Now, the play, yeah. For instance, from college to the NFL, you have faster players. You have linebackers and linemen that now run 4.8, 4.9 40s, whereas in high school and college, they may have ran, in the fives or something to that effect. So yeah, the players are faster, but the players are smarter. The audibles, the checks, that's what we mean by speed of the game. So in high school, once you reach high school, it is going to be essential for you to begin to take your ACTs, your SATs, focus on your GPAs. I would even implore you to, if you're not a multi-sport athlete, to become a multi-sport athlete. The reason I say that is because when a recruiter comes to the school to recruit you, he's already there because you can play. So when a recruiter comes to your school, he's not there to see you play. Yeah, he's going to watch a game. He may watch a game. That's all fine. That's what scouts are for. But when the recruiter actually comes to the campus, when it's not game day, he's already there because he knows you could play. No, when he comes, he's there to talk to your coaches, your teammates, your teachers, your peers, the people in your community. Because one thing about going from high school to college is you become an investment. Because if they're going to invest thousands of dollars in a scholarship for you, They don't want somebody that's going to get in there um and be a troublesome person, getting arrested, going to jail, getting in fights, things of that nature, being a disturbance on the team. You see what I'm saying? It's just like a job interview, for instance. When a company looks at your resume, they look at your resume before they ever offer you an interview. So if you get a call for an interview, they already know that you're qualified. They're getting an interview to get a sense of your personality. You see what I'm saying? Same thing when a recruiter comes to your school, you know. So that's why I tell you guys it's very important to be respectful, young men and women. It's very important to be very peer oriented. I would implore you to get involved in things like student council, student government. Um, if you have things like informative speaking, persuasive speaking, we call it UIL here in Texas, where we have like informative speaking, persuasive speaking, number sense. They got social studies stuff. They got one act play, debate teams. Get involved in as much of that as possible, because not only will it help you as a person down the road in life, but it also benefits you at that moment. You're going to learn so much from these different experiences. You're going to meet so many different people, and you're going to build some pretty good connections. You see what I'm saying? And when a recruiter comes and they're looking at you, knowing you're a good player, and they hear, hey, this guy, let's say Jay, for instance, hey, Jay's he's an outstanding athlete. And, they go to talk to the coach, and it's like, man, he works hard. He goes hard on it. He never takes a play off. He's very, he's a team leader in the locker room. He leads by example. He's awesome. Okay, coach is happy with that, but he wants to know, how do you behave in the classroom? He goes to talk to your teachers. He turns all his assignments in on time. He helps the other students out with their assignments. He's very well behaved. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Okay, let's talk to their peers. Oh, man, Jay's awesome, man. He's on the debate team with us. He helps us out with stuff. We look up to him so much. Now not only do they have an individual who they know could bring help to the university as far as sports go, but now you also bring that personality that people thrive to find, and you with your academics even bring so much as a level of assistance to the school academically. And with your ACT scores, the cool thing about this is if you score high enough on the ACT and SAT, you can earn money for school. And so if you're already getting a sports scholarship to this school and you end up getting an academic scholarship to the school, then if they can work that out, that could actually free up money to give somebody else an opportunity to get a scholarship to that school just by you taking care of your business. Either that or you get a double scholarship and you get some money back in a refund check. Yeah. So, it's very important for you to do everything that you can in high school. Put in extra work, man. I know being young in high school, you don't think about that, but I promise you it's going to pay off down the road, especially if you build that work ethic in high school. We had a very strict coach, through high school, up through my senior year. We got a different head coach my senior year, but prior to that, we had a head coach. His name was Ronnie Bickham, extremely strict. He won some state championships out at Paul Pewitt in Texas, and well-known coach, but man, he was gritty. And, the guys ahead of us ended up going to college. All of them went to play football in college, including my cousin who played for SMU. And, they told us, the younger guys, that, hey, I asked him, how is it in college? He said, look, the work ethic that Coach Bickham gave us here, he said, it's college isn't even that hard. Like, our high school coach worked us so hard that even me, I'm telling you from my personal experience, when I got to college, the work part wasn't the hard part, because I was used to working hard, if not just as hard, or if not harder than what they did in college. Doesn't mean that they don't work hard in college. Just means that our coach was essentially preparing us for the next level, as a head coach should. So, by the time I got to college, I already had the strength. I had the speed. Like, as far as speed and strength, I was right there with the upperclassmen. I had the conditioning because I ran track. I ran the quarter in track, the mile relay, sprint relay. I ran everything in track. That's why I'm telling you, too, to play multiple sports, see? Because if you just play football, think about what you can get out of basketball. Basketball it's like football. It's short burst. You want to increase your vertical jump? Play basketball. You want to increase your short burst speed? Play basketball. Same thing with track. Track works on your endurance and your speed as well, your running form and stuff like that. Your footwork, basketball, track. Powerlifting works on your strength. You see? So doing those things, once I got to college, I was already ahead. So it made the transition easier for me going to college, because at that point, all I had to do was learn techniques and plays. So I learned the playbook very fast. Why? Because I didn't have to worry about building strength and speed, because it was already there. I still worked on it, don't get me wrong. My speed went to a whole nother level, so did my strength, but it wasn't something that I had to focus on and catch up. You'll see some players get in and, the coaches will try to get their weight at a certain point or their strength at a certain point. See, I was already there, so I didn't have to focus on that. I already had the mentality to go hard on every rep. I wanted to outwork the seniors. And that's what you have to do. You can't be worried about stepping on their toes by embarrassing them in the workout. No, embarrass them. Show them up. Work harder than them. They want that. They want to see that, especially in a freshman. Even if you red shirt, put in that work on scout team. You see what I'm saying? And so being ahead like that, like I said, the speed of the game to me wasn't an issue, because even being red shirt, I was able to adjust, because while, some of the other incoming freshmen had to focus on getting their weight at a certain point, their strength, their speed and stuff like that at a certain point, had to get used to the work ethic that's required in college. I was already prepared for that. So that's less time that I had to focus on that and more time that I got to focus on getting used to the speed of the game. You see what I'm saying? So now we're in college. So what is it like being a college athlete? It is a completely different life than being a high school athlete. Some of y'all have to take this into consideration for, thinking about being a college athlete, because let me be honest with you, you have no life, especially at the D1 level. Your life at that point becomes football. And that's not a bad thing. But if you love the game, it's for you. But if you're one of those that, I just play football for fun, I really love my social life, my private life, you might want to reconsider playing college ball, or at least give it a try, because it's a different world. First off, you enter two-a-days well before everybody else gets to campus. When you get there, the campus is bare dry. Everything is to the T. The time. That's why I tell you in high school, make sure you're showing up to practice on time, workouts on time, class on time. Learn to be on time in high school. It'll pay off for you in college. When you're in high school, if you plan on being a college athlete, go ahead and start going to bed at early. 9, no later than 10 o'clock. Learn to wake up early. Early bird gets the worm. Work up early, about 6 o'clock, 5, 6 o'clock. Get you some breakfast, go work out. Because let me tell you, once you get into two-a-days in college, man, sleep is going to be your best friend. You are going to realize just how special and important sleep is. Let's run over a typical day, okay, in college. You wake up two-a-days about 6 o'clock in the morning for breakfast check. Breakfast check, everybody has to report to the cafeteria to eat breakfast. Whether you stay on campus or not, you got to go to breakfast check, okay? So after breakfast check, breakfast checks normally for us, it was around 7, okay? 7 to 8 o'clock, something like that, okay? So you eat breakfast. And let me tell you something. If you're not a breakfast person, you're going to learn to be. It was so hard to eat breakfast in the morning, man. But when you start working out, and man, yeah. Anyway, so breakfast check 7 to 8 o'clock ish, somewhere in there, and then you got position meetings at 9 o'clock. So you got a little hour to kind of relax, stretch out, get ready for practice and stuff like that. So and you got to be on time. If you're on time, you're late. When I say on time, you need to be about 15 minutes early. Okay. Because if you show up at 9 o'clock, you're late, and that's not good. So position meetings about 9 o'clock, you get there, position meetings. After position meetings, you have, you guessed it, practice. Your first practice of the day. Okay. That lasts maybe about 2.5, 3 hours, depends. Position meetings last from about 9 to 10 o'clock. Okay. And then from 10 to about 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock, you've got your first practice. Then, it's intense. it's not like a walkthrough type of thing. You see what I'm saying? So you got your practice, you get out of practice, and then you have lunch. Now, this is the fun part of the day because after lunch, you have about 2 to 3 to 4 hours before you start the same thing again. You start with dinner, you have lunch, you have a break, then you have dinner, then you have position meetings again, and then you close out with the evening practice. And guess what time that evening practice ends? You guessed it, probably about 7, 8. You know, you don't necessarily have dinner. You have lunch, you have a break, then you may eat again or something to that effect. Then you'll have another practice, and then after practice, you may have dinner or dinner, and then you may have another position meeting to close out the day. But essentially, during 2 days, you're up at 6. You get a break in the middle of the day, about 3 to 4 hours, and then you're doing the same thing, position meetings and practice again. You're not gonna get done with your day till about 9 o'clock at night. Bed check is at 10 o'clock. Bed check means you're in your bed. You're not up in your room playing the game, something to that effect. No, they want lights off in the bed, go to sleep. And you're going to want to do it because guess what? You're going to have to wake up the next day and do the exact same thing. And unlike high school, this isn't just Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday with Friday being a game day. No, during 2 days, it's Monday through Sunday. Now, on Saturdays and Sundays especially, they may, just have one practice instead of two or something to that effect because rest is really important. And then you get as you get closer to school starting, you have different events like picture day. You have maybe an event where kids come to the field. You have scrimmages and stuff like that. So once you get that first week out the way, that second week is essentially the grind week. Like that's the week where it really gets fun. That first week is, oh my gosh. But the second week, once you're used to the schedule and stuff, that's where it really starts to become fun because you're preparing for the actual season. You're doing more scrimmages than just practice type things and stuff like that. And then a lot of times you have less practices. Like you may go to a 1 a day or something to that effect. It just depends really on how the team is progressing. And okay, as hard as that may be, when school starts, it's just as hard. Now, when it comes to football, it's not. The practices are easier because in college, they don't want anybody to get hurt because they've invested thousands of dollars in scholarships to have these players on the field. And it's extremely important because you don't have as many players as you would have on a high school team. And so once school starts, you don't wake up, you still got to wake up for breakfast check. Breakfast check lasts the entire time that you're in school, actually. You got breakfast check all the time. During the season, anyway. Off season, it just depends on the school. Some people do it, some people don't. But when school starts, you still got breakfast check, so you still have to go to breakfast check, and you have your classes, whatever time they start. Now, the cool thing about college classes is normally Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is when you have your most classes. Tuesdays and Thursdays, you generally have those. Maybe you might have 2 or 3 classes, or maybe even 1 class. But those classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays normally last like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Yeah, I know. But anyway. So you have class, then guess what? You've got workouts in the middle of the day. After workouts, guess what? More class. After class, guess what? Football practice. Yay. Position meetings. And guess what time your day ends? The same, about 8, 9 o'clock. Just like 2 days, only you got class in the middle, so there's really no time for you to actually get a 4-hour break to get some rest. But it's fun. Now, once the season actually gets up and running, your practices are in the afternoons, but you're generally out of practice by, I say, about maybe 6, 7 o'clock. Practice probably starts at like 4 or 5 or something. You'll have position meetings for like an hour or so, then you'll have practice. Because a lot of guys are going to be on work study, and once school starts, they got to be at those jobs, and those jobs generally start from around 7 o'clock to 9 or something to that effect. So if you're on work study, then yeah, you're still going to be in the bed by 9. Not to mention you still got homework, you're still having exams, you still got the regular life of a student just with the football in between. So that's why I'm telling you, during the season, you have no life. Like, you have no time. You barely have enough time for class. You see what I'm saying? So that's something to think about. And this is every day. I mean, you'll get a break on the weekends because Saturdays is game day, of course. And then a lot of coaches give their players Sunday off. You may go to the field to do some stretching and some light running and stuff. You may watch film. We normally watch film on Sundays or Monday mornings or something to that effect, But it's a grind during the week, I promise you. Then comes the off season. Oh my gosh. Not spring football, the off season. Grind time. If you thought 2-a-days was tough, if you thought the season was tough, off season is another beast. Just being real with you. It's not, you definitely have more time on your hands, but it's the grind of off season. So instead of waking up at 6, you're waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be on the field for workouts, not football, just workouts at about 5. Doesn't matter, rain, sleet, snow, ice, cold, doesn't matter. 5 o'clock, you're on the field working out. Why? Because you need to be done with those workouts by the time class starts. So, they generally run 2 groups. We ran 2 groups. Some schools bigger, they may be different. But we ran 2 groups. We ran one group at around 5, from 5 to 6. Then we had another group that go from like 6 to 7, And then you got breakfast check, of course. Still got breakfast check. And then after that, you got your classes. But the cool thing is no football practice. So the only thing that you have midday is, guess what? Workouts. Yay, lifting weights and running. But take advantage of that. And then after your classes, you have no practice. So you got the rest of your afternoon to do whatever you want to do. Take advantage of this time to work and perfect your craft. If you want to play, you want to excel, you want to make it to the next level, you need to utilize that time in doing this. You get what I'm saying? And then once spring football rolls around, no more early morning workouts. You just transition into breakfast check. And then it's pretty much just like the season. You actually have practice and stuff like that, position meetings and stuff like that. Just without the games on Friday. But it builds up to the climax of the spring game, which is a very, very fun. And it closes out the year on an awesome note because you got friends and family out and the stands are packed like it was a regular game. It's very awesome experience. It's a lot of work. It is a ton of work. It is a night and day difference, and balancing football along with your classwork and stuff, it's tough. See, a lot of people talk down on student athletes thinking they get handouts and all this and that, but it is harder for a student athlete than it is for a regular student because your time is consumed from before the sun comes up to after the sun goes down. It is a tough job, but be proud of it. It's fun. Don't let me sit here and stray you away from that. It's a lot of work, but I promise you it is so much fun, especially once you start to get in the groove of that. Crazy thing is, after you get out of college, that work ethic is still stuck with you, and it carries over into your jobs. And when companies look and see that you've played sports, you was a student athlete, and you maintain good grades and all this and that, they're more inclined to hire you. First of all, because companies want competitors, and they know that you play college sports, so they're going to know that you're a competitor. And then they want somebody that's going to be dependable and going to work hard. And if they know you were successful being a student athlete, they're going to be more inclined to hire you because in order for you to be a successful student athlete, you have to be punctual. You have to be dependable. You have to be reliable, and you have to be accountable. And that's the things that college teaches you. There's so much that people learn from sports. Being a college athlete is an amazing experience. Everybody don't get to experience it. So if you have the opportunity to, I implore you to at least try it. And if you don't like it, hey, you can get out of it. Now, going to the pros, which I've never played in the professional level, but I know people that have. It is a completely different ball game. I mean, you might think, hey, I just got practice, it's chill. No. It is a eat or be eaten type of thing. Your morning, your evening, your days, your night is consumed. I was going to say should be consumed, but it is consumed with football, watching film, watching practice film, working on your craft, because you are now getting paid and everybody is just as good as you. So what's going to set you apart is the extra work that you do. Some of the best players in the NFL right now are good because they always watch film. One of my favorite players active right now in the league is Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman is known for watching film like crazy. Tom Brady, the GOAT. A lot of people may not agree, but he is one of the greatest of all times. Tom Brady's story is very amazing. But the most amazing part is the fact that his wife says she used to wake up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Tom wouldn't be at home. He wasn't at a club. He wasn't out partying with friends. Guess where he was at? At the facility, watching film. Peyton Manning, same way. John Elway, same way. You see what I'm saying? You got to put in that extra work when you get to that next level. The plays, not to mention in college, the plays are very long. You know, in high school, you might have black right 38 sweep, you know. But in college, black right 38 sweep becomes black right 69 jet, 72 flywheel 39, you know, something like that. And then in NFL, oh my gosh. X right stab goes zebra spider 2Y banana. You know, the plays get really long and your playbook gets thicker and thicker and thicker. It literally becomes a book when you get to the NFL level. So we'll cross that bridge when y'all get there. But from high school to college, that's the life of a college athlete. And one thing to note is it's going to be tough financially, you know, because you're not going to get money. You're not going to be able to take donations from people and things of that nature. You can lose your scholarship that way. You can actually get the university in a lot of trouble. I don't know if those rules will change later on, but that's how it is now. No sponsorships and things like that. However, if you got a full ride to school and you qualify for a Pell Grant, guess what? When refund checks come, you get all of that money back and you don't have to pay it back because it's a grant. You see what I'm saying? And you can do like work study and stuff like that, especially if you're on a full ride. You know, my cousin did. That's the way you just work while you're in school for a couple hours and earn a couple of bucks to help out, you know. But being a student athlete, your meals are provided for. You got breakfast, you got lunch, you got dinner. They're going to make sure that you eat. And if you're at a big time university, I mean, you get Gatorades, protein shakes. Like, they really take care of you. They make sure that you're full and filled of the stuff that you need. So that's not a concern. But all in all, y'all, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I hope that this has helped some of you younger guys and what you got to look forward to. I'm going to tell you, it is an awesome experience. It is an experience, like I said, that a lot of people don't get to experience. So try it. Work hard now. Prepare yourself. Work now as though you are in college. You see what I'm saying? Work now as though you are in the NFL. You know, do those things now. Don't wait till then. Do them now so that you're prepared and that you're ready. That's all I got for right now. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as we sign off like always. Till next time, and God bless.